call it WBC retail. So if you're not finding any ingredients or anything, just text on that number and we will get back to you. So you can come and pick it up. So Sagat will add Parmesan cheese, 145 ml of oil, and then approximately 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. So grate, you have to grate this with your grater, or maybe you need a powder. It depends on you. If you grate it, it gives a nice body and a feel of Parmesan when you are mixing up with the lettuce. But powder is also fine. So please add. So I think with this Parmesan and this salad, anybody know where is this Caesar salad from? Which country originated? Can anyone tell me? Sorry? She need advice from that because yes, of course, it is from Italy actually. And long back there was a person called, surname was Caesar Cardini. And on his name, this Caesar salad was originated. It's become, I told you, it's become the most popular salad in the world. So we have added Parmesan. We have to fold it. We have to fold it slightly, please ma'am. So we have to do a little bit of folding, like when you do a cake baking process. When you add a wet with dry, something very similar. So we have a base dressing of egg yolk and oil. Then we fold it slowly. I think a little bit of more Parmesan you need to add. It's called WC sauce, and it's one of the proprietary sauces. This is non-vegetarian. So whoever is vegetarian, they will take that out while making the dressing because it's made out of fish. So it's a sauce made out of fish. We are making it, and this again close to half teaspoon. It's very strong. And the other thing about this sauce is it's very salty also. Substitute to this to give color. For the vegetarian, I think if you have a little soya, I think dark soya will give color. Because if you add too much, then soya flavor will come. Otherwise, to be very frank, I will not add soya to Caesar dressing. I will not add it because soya has a very distinct flavor. Just little more. And then we have lemon juice. So we are adding now 2 tablespoons of lemon juice to it. This will give the sharpness to the dressing. Yes, keep on adding, keep on folding it. Then the other ingredient we have to add is little garlic. Or garlic, chopped garlic, or you can add little garlic juice, whatever. A little bit of it. That's all. Half teaspoon is enough. Then we will add some freshly crushed black peppercorn, which is here. This is again to taste. Yes, I think that will be enough. And I was telling you about this WC sauce. You have to be careful using it because it's very, very salty. And so before adding salt to your dressing, you must taste it a little bit. Then we have some anchovies. Anchovies, these are actually anchovies fish, which is salted and cured. This is also available in the market. I have seen myself in Hyper City. It comes in a small packet, small tin, and you can buy it. So we will. Sorry. For vegetarian, I don't think so. There is an alternative to it. Look, if you don't get anchovies, then you can adjust with this also, because this sauce is made out of anchovies. To give more sharpness and pungency to this salad, we have to add it. So, anchovies with this quantity, I will add 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of anchovies, and again we keep on holding it. Get the seasoning. Because I was telling you, this sauce is salty. My Parmesan cheese, which is salty, so I will not add too much salt at this moment, to be very frank. Because it's no need. We have anchovies, which is salty. The sauce is salty. Parmesan is salty. Dijon mustard has some salt into it, so I will not add salt. It's perfectly fine now. Maybe what I do when I'm tossing my lettuce with this dressing, so at that time I just taste. If it is required, I'll just add a little of salt into it. That's all. So now the dressing is ready. You don't need anything. Now what you have to do, you have to toss this with the lettuce. So here we have a bowl. Wait, just a moment. First you add lettuce. Now little bit, yeah. Little bit, that's all. And you have to toss it up, you have to mix it up nicely. And there is one more ingredient, which is bread croutons, which you can make at home easily. If you have to buy breads, you have to cut it nice slices and toast it in your oven or microwave on a dry heat. That's all. Yes. So now the salad is ready. Now there could be many variations to it. This is the base Caesar salad. If you want to add chicken, add roast chicken. If you want to add prawns, add prawns. If you want to add vegetables, you add vegetables. So you make different variations. But this is the base. Is it easy? Okay. So dining at our Italian restaurant. Yeah. There is another salad, is Greek salad. How many of you heard about Greek salad? Okay, the person who will answer me a Greek salad ingredient, okay, all the ingredients, will get a voucher for 2 dining at Alto Wing.
Onions, tomato, a little bit of lime juice, if you want, and of course seasonings. Seasonings.
Seasoning.
So a little salt if you want, of course, raspberry salt if you need.
Okay, yes. Yes, maybe you have to answer full. Yes.
Better.
Anybody? Sorry? Yogurt? No. It's I'm still missing one ingredient. Cucumber, yes. Yes. Pepper. And the Greek salad is called Kalamata olives.
Black ones.
You know the black ones, and it's a typical variety which you find in Greece. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Okay. So now we have Chef Saurabh, who will be doing a small baking session. Please.
Okay. I saw a couple of dishes in that food tasting competition. People are really interested in doing baking. This is something which is not of Indian origin. We have not grown up cooking, baking cakes, pastries and all. So it is always something which sounds very tough. As long as you do not put your hand into that. The moment you do that, the moment you practice that, it becomes easy for us. I'm sure you must be taking the recipes from the internet, from all the books. Those books, to me, is very complicated. So I'm going to teach you 2 dishes today. One is muffin, which is primarily you can make for your kids at home to take in the tiffin and things like that. It's very easy. The recipe has been simplified then you don't have to think that I can't do baking, I can't make the dough and the batter and all. But these recipes are very simple. You just need a hand whisk, a spatula and a mixing bowl to do that. A simple recipe, cook at home in all your combi micro oven in which you can cook it. You just have to adjust your oven temperature. Because most of the books when say 180 degrees centigrade, they talk about professional ovens, which are bigger in size. You know, I saw the creme caramel. I'm sure the recipe was perfect because it came nice. What I found was the difficulty and in the baking. You know, she was doing right as per the book, 180 degrees centigrade, 40 minutes, done. You know, but smaller oven, smaller surface area, intense the heat is. So you have to lower down the temperature because the impact of the heat on the product is very high when the area is small. Okay? So that's how I'm going to teach you. Me, Rahul Chef Yash, will teach you a recipe of muffin right now. I have the recipe, I'll probably pass it around, or I can give you the recipe. One of you can post it on the PSN site so that everybody has the recipe then and there. You know? Okay, all that bakers, if you want to join me in cooking over here, please. You know, almond powder or almond flour, whatever you get. If you don't get it in the market, don't worry. Get whole almonds, grind it in your grinder, it's ready. 300 grams castor sugar, 250 grams butter, which is unsalted butter. You know, there are two types of butter which is available in the market. One when you taste it, it's salted, and other one doesn't have the salt. It's 250 grams unsalted butter. Then we have 480 grams of milk, 3 numbers egg, 150 grams walnut, and 150 grams chocolate chips. Okay, and this is known as chocolate chip and walnut muffin. You can. You know, there are many things. I have put walnut because it's good for health, and preferred if you want to put almond instead of walnut, put it. If you want to put raisin instead of nuts, put it. If you want to put blackcurrant, if you want to put fresh berries instead of walnut, put it. If you want to put frozen berries instead of walnut, just add it. Replace it with an equal amount of walnut. If you are at all adding the frozen berries, I would request you to add it at the last when everything is done because it leaves colored water. So the color of the muffin will be, if you are adding blueberries, it will be purple color. Which is not bad, but it will look just dark. You know? Yeah, I will send it across to you. No problem. You know, because if you put butter into the mixing and then you look for something else, you know, it becomes very difficult to manage time and the cooking time increases. The things which you can do in 10 minutes, it will take at least 25-30 minutes to do it. So first is 330 gram refined flour. So this is regular refined flour. You can see, you all can have a look of it. It's maida. Then we have 10 grams baking powder. So this is baking powder. Ma'am, you will have to convert it. I have done it in the grams. You will have to convert it into the cups. Then we have almond powder. As I said, if you get ready-made, it's fine. If you do not, don't worry, just grind it into your grinder. It becomes like this. Then we have castor sugar. You know, this sugar has got many names. It is also known as superfine sugar, castor sugar, breakfast sugar, or whatever. Thing is that it has to be a fine sugar like this, the small grain sugar. Reason why I am telling you, because all these ingredients are hand mixed. So if you take a regular grain sugar, it will not mix up properly. If you do not get it around you, just take a grain sugar, put it in a grinder, just give one churn. Okay, you'll get it fine, it's easy to mix. Two different things. Grain sugar and castor sugar are same, just different grains. Icing sugar has got a little bit of additive into that. It has got some amount of starch to make it stable. You know, sugar is hygroscopic. When you leave it open, it starts melting in the air, right? It gets moisture. And when the sugar is powdered, it will catch the moisture faster. So to avoid that, factories add a little bit of starch in that to make it stable. Then we have butter, unsalted butter. Then we have milk, eggs. Now, if you ask me how to go eggless about it, what I would say that if you want to make eggless, buy a nice eggless mix muffin and do it. Don't waste time on making things. You know, it's easy, it's nice, it's quick and it's fast. If I don't know how to make idli, probably I'll buy it and I'll make it. People will not know how I have done it. They will eat it and it will taste best. So it's nice. You know? But if you want to give it a try, one egg is around 40 grams, Indian eggs. 2 eggs in the recipe that calls for 80 grams. Just replace it with milk or yogurt. You know, you will not get the same texture. You will not get the same flavor. Yeah. So there will be little variation in the final product, but yes, you will be able to cook muffin. And then we have choco chip. If you get fine pre-made choco chip, it's perfect. If you don't get, take a chunk, take a thick knife and cut it nicely, small. Don't cut your hand. And then we have walnut. Here. When you read the recipe, it says a lot of method, lot of points in there. It's not that complicated. Take one big bowl. Take one big bowl? Yes. So this is big bowl. Before doing anything, just melt this butter. This is the only thing which you have to do in this recipe. Melt the butter. By the time, we'll put all the liquids together. You know, like butter, egg, milk, everything in a bowl. With the milk. So all the liquid together in a bowl, all the dry ingredients together, mix it, put it in a baking cup, paper, silicone, aluminium, stainless steel, whatever you get, whatever you have at your home. Portion it, 75% of the mold, put it in the oven, wait for 20 minutes, your muffin is ready. That's all. Put it. Now I want to show you something. Let's see how she breaks the egg. She's perfect. Now just tell me what you use spoon every time. 99.9% of the time people use knife. She didn't have knife right now, otherwise she would have used knife only. Okay. Now when you use knife's edge is very sharp, right? When you break it with a knife, the egg shell breaks into the minute pieces, right? It has 100% chance of going into the egg, right? So never use sharp knife. It's very delicate. You bang it on the table gently. Okay? If you are using spoon, use the back of the spoon. I'll show you. You don't have to do anything. You just have to bang it like this. Gently. It's done. Rest of the work will be done by hand. You know, it's easy, it's clean. You know, I can do it with my fractured hand. You can see that. You have to be gentle. It's gone. So don't have to hammer your head. It's not a rocket science. Use blunt, tabletop, bowl, back of the spoon to avoid any eggshell going into the food. Always break the egg into a separate ball. Don't use in the same bowl. If it goes into that, you you take a halogen bulb, you cannot find it. If you find it, you cannot take it out. You have to use strainer. And when you have added everything, probably you will end up straining everything else. Okay, so always use a separate bowl to break the egg. It's easy. Saving time, saving your food, saving ingredients, and if you don't see it, probably will save cut and wounds in your mouth. Perfect. Then we have melted butter. Okay. Just put it into this. Then here goes egg. Simple, all the liquids together. So egg, melted butter and milk goes into that. You don't have to whip it. You have to mix it. Just mix it. Break the eggs. That's it. Simple. Now one by one, except the chocolate chip and walnut, put everything in. Sugar. It's simple. It will probably save 75% of your time. If you are using a hand blender, you have to pre-mix butter and sugar together, then you have to add egg one by one. A lot of tasks. It sounds very lengthy and you probably have to plan in your schedule. This is nothing. You just have to weigh the ingredients, put everything, all the liquids together, and all the dry ingredients together, mix it. Just mix it. Baking powder. And at last we will add chocolate chip. We don't want the chocolate to be mixed too much. Probably the butter is warm, it will start melting. So we are putting all the ingredients first so that temperature will go down and the chocolate will not melt. We want the chocolate to be chunky in the muffin. And then we put the chocolate. Just give it a little mix. It's done. No machine required, nothing required. You can do it with your wooden spoon or a whisk. That's enough. Here we are using this paper cup for that. We need a spoon. We just portion it into this cup, 75% full, 70-75% full, so that when we bake it, it will rise and it nobody is watching in the home, so don't worry about all these things. You lick it, you can do whatever you want. Nobody is watching you. Yeah, that's all. This is all about this basically. I will pass it to you. One of you can just take a picture and post it on the Facebook of PSN. Everybody will have that recipe. They have come or not, doesn't matter. Anything you want to ask regarding baking, muffin especially, because next we'll do the cakes. Any question which when you are doing at your home, unbaked, raw baked, second on baked, outside crusty, any problem which you face while baking at your home, let me know. I have all the answers. Please tell me, Amit.
Anything related to baking?
I usually bake a lot of cakes. What happens is my cake usually rises, but last time when I baked, it just coagulated in between, in the center, and it was like it was cooked, but it was like one solid thing.
In the center?
Yes.
Okay, there are two reasons why it happens. Number one, the ingredients are not mixed properly. Okay, what happens when we are doing mixing? A good mass of flour or dry ingredient remains unmixed. Okay. And when you bake it, you cut it and suddenly you find that chunk. Because if it is not mixed properly, it will remain as is in the recipe during baking. This is one reason. Second reason is, if it is right in the center, when you bake it, you see, okay, it touches from the top, touches from the side, it feels it is baked. Because that is the first thing which is baked when you do the baking. Right? All the open areas will be baked first compared to the center of the cake, or the muffin, or anything which you bake. So you feel that, okay, it is baked. Then it's a common tasting method when you pierce a toothpick or something like that in the center and taste it. It will come clean probably 80-85% of the time. But the cooking is still not done properly. You know, so it is hot, so it comes nice. When it is cooked, you take it out, it is cooled nicely, incorporated. So if that recipe doesn't say biscuit, don't whisk it. Just mix it up. You know, so that extra air is what air bubble is.
Just put chocolate chip in the muffin. So whenever I put it, it usually settles down when you start baking it. If you want to put it as a topping or something while baking, how to keep it at the top of
Two reasons. Your batter may be very thin. Okay? So before the baking starts, it starts sinking down. Another thing, that is the only dry ingredient or a heavy ingredient into that. Third thing, don't mix it then. Pour the muffin, put the chocolate chip from the top, it will sink, it will stay wherever it wants to go. It will not go down to the bottom, it will have something on the top also, in the middle also. So put it at the last. Okay, I am putting this in the oven, I will sprinkle chocolate chips, I will put it in the oven. See right now, I have mixed it because I wanted to be inside. Now I want it on the top. So just put it on the top like this. When you are putting on the top, make sure that when you are using nuts, which you want to put it on the top of the cake and all, make sure it's not roasted. It will burn. It's further baking. Anything else?
When I make the cake, then it rises very well, but after some time it goes down. So why it happens? Because when it looks, when it come out, it looks very awesome. But after some time it
Goes from the center.
Yeah, not on the center. All are actually goes down. In center, yeah, it is larger in big side. But that's what I don't know. Understand what happened with this.
You are talking about the cakes, right?
Yeah.
Dry cakes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'll tell you. It always says cream, butter and sugar together. Or probably the recipe will say cream the butter till light and fluffy. Something like it says. Or it will say till the cream. What happens when you cream the butter first, then you add in sugar, then you further cream it, then you add egg into it, then you further cream it. So it happens because of over creaming it. You know, the batter almost turns to the semi-liquid status. We don't want it to be like that. The recipe which you are using, probably that doesn't require that. So when you are whipping it, put butter and sugar together. Sugar when 80% melts, you can touch it, you find a fine grain into the finger, add egg one by one. Make sure your butter and is not hot or warm. Use a chilled butter. If you are using it by hand, probably you take it out under half an hour or 45 minutes in advance. It will become soft, but it will still be cold. Use your egg which is cold, so that the batter is strong enough to hold the rest of the dry ingredients. It may also happen when the leavening agent, for example, the baking powder, baking soda is too much. Because when you bake it, it gives a boom, you know, the moment the heat comes. But the batter doesn't have the strength to hold it. So it just topples down from here and there or in the center. That's the reason. Just read, go it, see the whole process of making it. I'm sure you'll be able to rectify it.
Thank you.
Alright, so just a moment, you saw the mixture of muffin which was prepared here. Now the muffin is in the oven. Okay, so let's talk about it, something, how to do it at home.
Okay. So, a simple mistake which we also, it's a simple mistake which we do baking. What we do is that we mix and make all the batter for the cakes and cookies and muffin, and then we set the oven. Okay. You know, most of the time we do such mistakes. Now this oven to come the temperature will take at least 20 to 25 minutes minimum. And then, even the temperature comes, it doesn't have the stability into it. The moment you open the deck, fresh air goes 480 temperature drops down. And then when you put the ingredients, that also takes a lot of heat immediately. So what will happen is that the temperature, inside temperature will come down. You are thinking that I have set it to 180 degrees centigrade, it will remain at 80 degrees centigrade, which doesn't happen. So the moment you start your prep, set up the oven first. You will save your time. Probably if the recipe has egg white, it will not collapse down. You know, certain recipes are there which say that portion it, put it immediately. But guess what? The oven is not ready. You have to wait and watch. Me too. Let's take at least 20-25 minutes.
There is